So I got up this morning and I was thinking to myself, if bed bugs came from the term bed, where the hell did cockroaches come from? Who the hell came up with that term though? Anyways, I think it's about time we start this show. So, hit it! Welcome to Break Time on West Side, your number one break time show on each and every platform that you listen to where you need to take a break from work. This is the type of place that you go to. I am your host, Sir Denver B, the hostess with the mostest. And honestly, today, I need to discuss a couple of things. First of all, we need to look at this issue called FWBs, aka Friends with Benefits. The three-letter term that is a lot better for a man that likes to, spread his seed, or a woman that likes to have their place planted with seed, than I love you. This is one of those things that, we just feel so good about if you don't want a relationship, but you want to continue smashing. Because these are friends that will still come with the same benefits, except, when they end up leading into a relationship or feelings start being involved, you start wondering, these aren't the benefits I signed up for. But nonetheless, we need to look at them because of late, about a month or two ago, there was this whole report that I was seeing online of different people from different universities who were smashing and supposedly getting a strain of HIV I have never heard of up until then, where guys would start feeling, start getting sores around, not feeling too good, then they go to the hospital. And this is after 2 weeks of, straight up smashing random people. And it seemed like it was going out of hand when you hear that, my best friend slept with my boyfriend and then I let it slide. Then when she started dating, I had gone and smashed her boyfriend's friend who happened to have the virus, as which I found out later. Then afterwards I went and I smashed her boyfriend to get back at her. Damn. What level are you on? Damn, woman. But anyways, that aside, people usually come and think that, especially when you're getting into university, because that's where most of these friends with benefits usually occur, in uni. So when you're in uni and, you decide to have friends with benefits, guys usually tend to think that it's a 1-1 kind of thing. Although at the same time, with friends with benefits, you have the number one benefit of you're not committed to them. So you'll find that some people will have 3, 4, 5, even up to 10 friends with benefits, of which if you're a guy and you have 10 friends with benefits, your prioritization is on point, your management skills are on point. Unless each of them live in different counties, then they're probably just free hoes at this point. But at the same time, if you're a woman and you have up to 10 friends with benefits, then my dear, you are a dumping ground for a lot of seed. Just saying. I'm not calling you anything. I'm just saying you're a dumping ground for a lot of seed. Being serious about this. Now, it usually gets to an interesting point of view when you think about how many friends with benefits you probably should have. If someone asked me, for the sake of safety in this day and age where, HIV is a thing, STDs are a thing, and I'm not even looking at getting pregnant, assuming that both of y'all are on a certain form of contraception, be it condoms, be it a temporary, slicing of your tubes so that, you don't have kids. Yes, they call it a temporary vasectomy, as they say. Or, if you're a woman and you had your tubes tied, if you've taken, one of those implants, and it's entirely up to you if you choose to, I don't want to have kids and I'll protect myself from that. Or if you've just taken the very conventional option of using a female condom, of which we wouldn't judge you. By the way, we're honestly very happy if you take a female condom because, for us guys, we're not the biggest fan of condoms. Just saying. So, assuming that you guys have all of that, and you guys are looking at, safety, I'd probably say one friend with benefits is enough. But let's be honest. One friend with benefits is pretty much just an unofficial relationship. Y'all are basically thinging without the feelings involved. And according to a couple of different conflicting views, there is a group of people that will constantly believe that there is no friends with benefits without some level of attachment coming in, which I kind of agree with. I just don't think all of them go through this. There are times when people have no feelings attached and they do it and they can continue living with themselves. The only problem is at some point with a lot of these friends with benefits, some person catches feelings. That is fine and dandy. But how many should you probably have? I'd probably say, 3, 4, maximum 5. Because when you think about it, like if it's 3 of them, you can minimize the spreading. If it's like an STD and the guy has the STD, and I'm not trying to paint guys in a bad light, kindly. I'm just doing this, because guys are the ones who would be believed to have more friends with benefits, even though I know shorties have way more. If assuming that a guy is the one in the middle, 3 friends with benefits, let's say he contracts an STD from one of them, assuming that this chick probably has another friend with benefits. If he contracts it, it goes to 3 people. If you're sleeping with 10 different women, my nigga, first of all, like I said, prioritization is on point. Like, I need to learn your skills. Second of all, that's a lot of disease spreading you might end up doing, because if one of them is infected with any STD, then all of them are infected with that STD before they find out. And usually for a lot of these hospitals and clinics and health institutions, when it comes to something like an STD, they usually say, come with your partner. And the worst part about it is, unlike Black Panther, you will be tested for, going there a bunch of different times. Like when Black Panther came out, I'm sure a lot of people went there a lot of times because they went with their girlfriend once, then like each and every one of their side chicks. Very odd. Very, very odd. But I'm glad I didn't have any at the time. Now, moving on. Like, I don't mind if you have multiple friends with benefits and they're sharing. The key word of having friends with benefits is safety. Like, I feel as though people forsake safety for pleasure. And I'm not saying this in a bid to have everyone use a condom. This is not a sponsored condom advertisement. I am just saying that a lot of people forsake good, safe sex for, ultimate pleasure, of which that's entirely up to you. If you choose to go raw on 10 or 11 different women, it's entirely up to you. If as a woman you choose to smash 10 or 11 different guys, it's entirely up to you. But at some point, like when you get to this point where sharing is caring, now that's where it becomes pretty bad, because now sharing is caring is what I'd probably call it if like you find that it's a group of friends that are all friends with benefits. So you find that if you have like 10 women that you're sleeping with, guy or lady, I don't judge what sexual preference you are, and you decide to, let your friends sample some of them, have multiple friends with benefits amongst multiple friends. Now there it kind of becomes an issue though, because if something happens, like that's a whole crew with a disease. That's beyond communal masturbation. People think communal masturbation is bad. Like, damn, son. Like, if you find that one of them gets like herpes, and it's like 10 of you that have been, smashing each other day in, day out. Okay, not day in, day out. Like, let's say like you've been smashing each other a lot. Then obviously that becomes a bit of an issue for a lot of you, because imagine the whole crew going and wanting to see the doctor and saying, we've all been doing this and we all have herpes. Or worse still, some of these more incurable diseases, like let's say for women, HPV. HPV is the one that, like, I think scares a lot more women. And then, HIV/AIDS tops the list. But at the same time, you think about it. If you're gonna share, like, have a lineup, like, know the track list. A lot of people have been sharing and recurring their roles, and they just do it recklessly. Because, for some of y'all, it's like a one-night stand is a regular thing. That it gets to a point, you either get pregnant or you get a disease, and you don't know how the hell it is you're going to handle the situation because you don't know where you got it from. And the dumbest thing about it is some of you choose to become really spiteful at the world, and you decide to spread your disease like it's a fucking, what do they call it? Garage sale. like it's free lemonade. Honestly, if you are doing that, you need to take one to the head, dick or bullet, whichever it is that works best, in my opinion. Now, moving it on, like you will find that for a lot of these people who tend to engage in like this whole FWB operation, friends with benefits, you find that they are doing it with so many people. Now, like I said, if you're a guy and you're handling 10 women, by the way, kudos to you. Like your prioritization skills are on point. Like if I was to try my best, I don't think I'd even go past 5. And I'm saying that because, my concentration would be split like 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%. Mostly because I have this podcast to think about, which takes like 50% of my mental thought, at least. If you're a woman and you're, handling 10 niggas, first of all, it might probably be easier for you because guys will, just text you and be like, yo, I'm down. Where are you? Can we do this? Although it does make women tend to be very picky, which isn't very nice for guys because sometimes you can go and be like, yo, can I come through? And you'll say no. For guys, we're a lot nicer. Like, you tell us you want to come through, not unless if I have another shorty in the house. Like, I'm usually like, yeah, why the hell not? Come through. But now you move to this stage where it's like people are like hotspots. You want the guy to smash, this is the guy. Like, hell, shorties will pretty much allow their friends to come in. Even make it a 3 or a 4-some. Not that I'm saying it's bad. Frankly, unlike most straight guys that are in their 20s will have their bucket lists with, a possible 3-some or 4-some in mind. I'm not saying that mine has one of them. I'm just saying that, it's a common thing. So you'll find that a lot of them will be like, oh, let's do a 3-some, let's do this, of which, funny enough, men are more into 3-somes than women, even though women will do the 3-somes involving another girl. This is odd. But the biggest question is usually, can we, do the 3-some and still go back to, being the same people that we were? Because there's usually this whole possessive nature of women, and they're like, I can't do a 3-some because if I do it, what if this other woman ends up being better than me in bed and ends up taking my man, or my man prefers her to me, and then blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Of which, frankly, if like that can pretty much take it out of the way, because when you think about it, if your BFF ended up doing it with your man and starts catching for him, it'll end the relationship sooner and prevent any possible problems, as opposed to if you guys end up staying longer, your BFF and your boyfriend end up looking at each other a lot, and then eventually stuff starts to happen behind your back, which for women you think that is worse, but it's more or less the same thing but just delayed. So honestly, I want to know what your thoughts are on this. You can hit me up on IG at breaktime_westside. Think about it. If you're gonna do it with someone, or at least if you're gonna do it with a lot of people, please be safe and, leave some for the rest of us. It's not like every nigga's getting it. Some of us men and women are having dry spells, yet we want some. So sharing is caring. Anyways, it has been me, Sir Denver B, on Break Time on Westside. This has been Battle of the Sexes, Episode 2. Thanks for listening.
Oh.